Boxing is arguably the loneliest sport on earth. All champions sacrifice everything they have in life in order to feel what it's like being on top of the world. The heavyweight division had the most cruel and entertaining fighters in boxing. Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion at the age of only 18 after beating Trevor Berbick. Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston in 1964 in a fight that would go down in history as one of the best.
The king of the world! Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man! Wait. I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
But there is much more to boxing than just the heavyweight division. The master of boxing, the smartest fighter to ever exist with the ability to study every single move of his opponents, Floyd Mayweather. The 8-division world champion with such footwork that it was nearly impossible to catch him, Manny Pacquiao. But the new era of boxing looks a lot more promising. A champion that is only 23 years old. He combines speed, knowledge, but that is no other than Ryan Garcia. Ryan is one of the most influential boxers we currently have, and for good reason. Today, we will take a look at Ryan's first steps in life and how he managed to become a boxing superstar at such a young age. This is Boxing Matrix. Enjoy this video. Ryan Garcia was born on August 8, 1998, in Victorville, California, United States. His nationality is American and he is of Mexican descent. Garcia is the son of Henry Garcia, who aspired to be a perfect professional boxer, but ended up becoming a coach instead. His mother works as a personal administrative assistant for commercial projects, and his father is one of his trainers. Both his two parents have been involved in his career since he was a toddler.
Journey with me, they've been through hell and back for me. You know, they gave up everything to pour it into my boxing career. We had no plan B. It was like, Ryan, you're talented, go.
Ryan was raised along with his 4 brothers, with one of them, Sean Garcia, becoming a professional boxer himself. Ryan and Sean began training with their father when Ryan was just 7 years old. Both brothers had strong parental encouragement to pursue their boxing careers. Garcia was training in his home garage, and it didn't take long for his father to acknowledge his son's lightning hand speed. Garcia, at a very young age, found himself in the boxing rings against opponents as an amateur. He went on to have a fascinating amateur record of 215-15, making him come to the professional ring well prepared. As an amateur, Garcia fought many boxers that have established their name in today's ranks, but the most notable one was Devin the Dream Haney. The rivalry between them was not something that was born recently, but nearly a decade ago. Ryan fought Haney 6 times and won 3 times, thus leaving a professional fight between them to define who is best. His achievements in the amateur ranks have been nothing short of incredible, including 15 national gold medal championships, Youth Worlds 2016 gold medal, and Youth Olympic team participation for USA Boxing, and many more. At the age of only 17, Garcia would go on and turn professional, and it was indeed a choice that would change his life forever. Garcia started a professional career competing with Edgar Meza in Southern California. He won the match with a 1-0 record. After winning his first 3 fights by TKO, it wouldn't take long for him to be recognized by a big promotional company. In November of 2016, Ryan was signed by Golden Boy Promotions, held by the great Oscar de la Hoya. He made his Golden Boy debut versus Jose Antonio Martinez on the undercard of Bernard Hopkins' final fight at the Forum on December 16, 2017.
Martinez was out there with the black glove. Ryan Garcia, highly touted amateur, started boxing at the age of 8. He lives in Victorville, trains with his dad. He's a father-son operation. And this is a fighter that Doug, in the Southern California amateur scene, a lot of people excited about him.
Yeah, well, when you win 15 national titles as a youth amateur, I mean, he wasn't always open class. It's just now 18, so a lot of those tournaments were doing very well in the open class division of the amateurs. But obviously, there's a lot of promise when he turns pro because of his success as an amateur.
He turned pro June of
I think you have to be 18 years of age to turn pro.
He turned 18 in August, and they said they weren't anything else for him to do amateur-wise. They'd gone to the tournaments. Wait, so Mexico, you turn pro at 15, 16. Went down there, made some money in Tijuana. Had an experience, of course.
Are babies. And you see a lot of things you like. You see the speed, you see a pretty good foundation, but you also see the flaws. You see the chin isn't very well tucked there. Sometimes when he lets that left hook go, he kind of swats with it.
At first, this kid is very popular on social media, promotes himself very well. 12,000 Twitter followers.
It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And Oscar de la Hoya is probably one of those 12,000 followers because he absolutely gushes when he talks about Ryan Garcia. I mean, he's high on a lot of his young prospects, but if you want to make Oscar's day, you want to see a big bright smile on his face, ask him about Ryan Garcia.
Oh, he stunned Martinez. Go upstairs there. He's going to the body, letting his hands go. Is Ryan Garcia. He's got the white gloves and he's pounding the veteran Antonio Martinez. And he's letting his hands go over and over. 10 seconds to go. Martinez is rugged. He's been in some battles in his career.
Martinez needs
he's
to hold
take
or punch
it.
back.
Final seconds of the opening round. He was stung, and Martinez, 33 years old. He's actually a licensed lawyer in Durango, Mexico. Doug, we've seen him a couple times. He's taking on Golden Boy fighters Hector Tanajara on Facebook. He was saying, hey, can you just evaluate my movements, what I do in the gym? So that's how they train back and forth. And when he does have a match like he got this one with Garcia a month ago, he came to Southern California working for him.
That's the way to do it. A journeyman, obviously. And he's a measuring stick for the matchmakers with Golden Boy Promotion. He saw that he was tough enough to go the distance with some good young pro prospects. Hector Tanajara, especially.
And there he goes down.
And this didn't happen when he was fighting those other guys.
No.
He took their best shots. So
Garcia, he is long in the 5'10" advantage. Oh, that right hand, and Rudy Barragan jumps in. It is over. A second round stoppage for Ryan Garcia.
Since then, Garcia has fought tough opponents. He faced Miguel Carrizosa in September of 2017, where he won the vacant NABF Junior Super Featherweight title. He then went on to retain his title 3 short months after, in November, against Cesar Alan Valenzuela. But the fight that would make him stand out from the other newcomers was against Fernando Vargas. Although Vargas was being expected to lose, the way that Ryan knocked him out is what made him go viral on social media. At the start of the fight, It was clear that Ryan had the upper hand after punching Vargas with many clear shots.
Inevitable, Oscar. Everybody believes that this young man can be the next Golden Boy.
And how ironic, he's fighting a Fernando Vargas. I strongly feel that Ryan Garcia has what it takes to be the next superstar in boxing. Obviously, it's a lot to say at such a. I mean, you see how these little girls here. He's attracting fans that have never even seen or watched boxing ever before. So this is what the sport really needs.
And you see a fighter like Vargas wants to do in this fight?
Well, that's exactly the experience that he has. That's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to rough him up, take him into deep waters. Fernando Vargas was chosen for a reason because of his experience, because of what he brings to the table. And look, this is no easy fight for Ryan Garcia, but we'll see what he has. We'll see what he's been working on, and the viewing audience will be able to watch.
Dominated very well. Actually, I saw it on Instagram the other day that you were still throwing jabs. I hope there's no comeback in the making.
Even after 25 pounds later, it's still fast. So. You know, right there, beautiful right hand by Ryan Garcia. You know, once they start warming up, you'll be able to see the experience from Vargas.
You want to know that your guy can take a shot and go deeper.
Exactly, and look, this is a great example of Fernando Vargas is no slouch. Fernando Vargas has a lot of experience with 52 fights.
It didn't take long for him to finish Vargas in the first round with an impressive knockout punch.
Vargas will take him into deep waters. We'll see.
Big right hand there from Ryan Garcia as the and the left hook puts him down as his head bounces off the canvas.
Beautiful combination. Beautiful combination. That's exactly what Ryan Garcia possesses, his power.
And the fight is over.
The crowd was so impressed, and so was Oscar, who saw a bright future in the kid's eyes. Garcia was now set to face Jason Velez. Ryan was used to knocking out people really early, and so he thought that this was indeed another easy victory. But things did not go as expected. He was fighting a guy that has never been stopped and was matching his skills. The bout was the longest match Garcia was ever in, and it was a lesson to learn what it means to be a professional boxer. Garcia generally had his way with the shorter, smaller Velez, whose punches didn't seem to faze him.
At all, not intimidated by Ryan Garcia, his speed, his power, nothing. You could see the height of Ryan Garcia immediately against the former world title challenger. He said
both guys are really like trying to set up a position where they can go ahead and take control. The first 2 rounds is going to be really a round of who's going to dictate it.
Ryan Garcia, he said, I want to do things to him in the ring that he hasn't seen before. I want to take him deep. I want him to think. And Ryan Garcia says, don't worry, I'll make my adjustments as the fight progresses. And Ryan Garcia already the right hand to the body of Jason Velez, making its presence known. Because they want to prove that he's for real. And I need to prove that I'm not finished as a true prospect and that I can once again become a world champion. And when you see the right hand of Ryan Garcia,
or if Garcia misses, if he misses and he don't protect himself, he will get countered, because if you see
time is the old boxing adage. There you see the overhand right. So Velez came to fight.
Garcia's getting hit with that right hand because he's throwing one jab.
He often moved Velez with his hard right hands and was effective with his right uppercut.
It is. And you know, there's 2 ways that both of these fighters know how they got to win this fight.
Throw more combinations. They just want to see Ryan with 3-4 at a time.
Nice right hand there to the chin of Velez, who once again, we remind you, has never been stopped as a pro, but
on the center of the ring, and Garcia must finish with an uppercut, whether it's the left hand or right hand, or Velez is going to run right into those shots. Velez has to be a fighter like Garcia has to figure out with that right uppercut that I mentioned earlier.
There it is, and once again, you see the legs of Jason Velez go a little weak, and here comes Ryan Garcia.
He's in it with an easy shot, and it's over.
He staggered Jason again in the 5th round with a hard right hand to the head, as Velez had no answers for anything.
Ryan Garcia in the first 4 rounds, as we hear the fans go crazy for a second.
So far,
overhand right now.
So yes, make him fight a fight that he's not used to. and that is trying to box and trying to find a way to counter.
All right, Beto, this.
And he wants to change that because we know the thinking of that because he's been in that situation.
That's an observation of Ryan Garcia as he lands two overhands right. Ryan Garcia, very accurate. 18 knockouts and 26 wins for Jason Velez from Juncos, Puerto Rico. Mexico-Puerto Rico on Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Garcia continued to inflict damage round after round, though Velez never seemed in danger of getting knocked down or stopped.
Duran, I'm Bernardo Osuna coming to you from the StubHub Center in Carson. I went into the locker room to talk to him. I said, hey, did you do your lunch pail too? He said, I did, because this is a tough fight. I know what I have to do. He just says where he is. He's been calling out the champions, but you know what? Jason Velez proved that you've got power, but I can take your shots so far. So Ryan Garcia, he gets no more easy fights. And this is where he really gets to prove who he is. Ryan Garcia, a true prospect.
I will want to fight him, especially if we're in that generation that they are in now.
You want him now, not when he continues to develop.
After many heavy blows and none of the fighters getting knocked out, the fight was a unanimous decision win for young Ryan Garcia.
He is now the undefeated NABO/NABF Super Featherweight Champion from Victorville, California, the Flash, Ryan Garcia!
In 2018, Garcia joined Eddie Reynoso, one of the best coaches out there, and the coach of the best fighter of this era, Canelo Alvarez. In the camp, Ryan learned a lot as he trained with a different style. Eddie pushed Garcia to his limits, and he saw the potential this young kid had and didn't want it to be wasted. A big contribution to his craft was also Canelo, who taught him with many different skills, such as how to have a better defense and the ability to sense when a punch is coming and counterpunch it at the right time. And so, now more prepared than ever, he would go on and face Braulio Rodriguez. During the face-off between the two, Rodriguez pushed Garcia as a sign of disrespect, and now we knew that we would see a more furious Garcia. Garcia was coming off a tough fight with Carlos Morales in September, but the 20-year-old lightweight looked pretty damn good tonight, dropping Rodriguez in the first round with a left hook and maintaining calm control against a clowning opponent who was looking to mentally rattle him.
A stick as a pole, as a distracting mechanism. What do you make of that, Ray?
Well, they're just trying to see what works. This is just a feeling out process. And talking about Garcia, I mean, I met him yesterday. I loved it. I fed off that, and I'm sure he does too.
He seems like the type of kid that would do that, right?
Yes, he's very calm, collected.
He loved it at the weigh-in. He was dancing to the music. He came out and he got a lot of cheers. He has a lot of fans. Fight against Carlos Morales, he was really tested. He had moved up to 135. He was hurt in the 7th round. He was rocked. He was clutching. I'll give him credit for that, though, Ray.
Goes down, gets back up.
Both men jabbing to the body here nicely. Rodriguez able to do it successfully before. Again, he will hold that left hand out there, and it is. Garcia 13 knockouts in his 16 fights. And I spoke to Jesse Vargas, one of the top 10 welterweights in the world before the fight. He's here for one of the announcing teams. Good hook! And Rodriguez goes down. That fast.
Wow, that was a perfect shot. Left hook.
He fought against Morales. Garcia thought, hey, I'm going to throw my punches and this guy's going to fall. And against more experienced competition, sometimes it doesn't happen. It was impressive to me, Ray Leonard, is the way Garcia came out jabbing in that first minute.
Well, he has height, his height, his reach, his speed. Take advantage of that.
Braulio Rodriguez going into his bag of tricks.
I mean, these guys.
Garcia has been impressive in this first round and a half. Poised, calm, and explosive.
Garcia just taking his time, waiting for that opening. And what's going to create that opening is that jab. He has a solid left jab.
Garcia content to stalk and try to get close.
But look at him. I mean, he's using what he has.
Well, right. As our friends
What's going
from
to happen
it's going to get
when
crazy.
Canelo comes out here?
We're near a sellout, expected to be a sellout by later tonight. Could be already, but we're almost there. Quick, lightning fast hook from Garcia. Rodriguez never able to even turn around. He turned him into a southpaw. Getting wild and woolly.
Oh, yes. You know, the fans get upset about this sometimes if you're not, if it's precise and it's powerful. That's what put him down the first time.
Trying to get by that extended left hand, and he does. Right hand and a hook by Garcia. Rodriguez says he's not hurt, but his head is getting whacked.
I've never seen a fighter so confident like Rodriguez.
While losing.
Oh, crazy.
Garcia kept winning rounds until landing a big right hand in the 5th for the finish.
For Garcia, he's because he can fight anybody at any time.
Hard right hand. Wow. How did he weather that? Another one. And a hook. And down he goes.
This is over.
Ron Lipton got to 10.
And now, finally, it was time for the big dogs. Garcia would have his first title shot against Romero Dano, a fighter who at the time of their fight only had one loss and was considered as the biggest threat King Ryan had faced. It was his chance to thrive, a chance to have a spot among all the great lightweights at that particular time. Garcia and Dano came out aggressive to begin the fight, throwing each punch with evil intentions. Garcia landed a thudding straight right hand that went through Duno's guard.
And shook Duno. Garcia able to land that right now. Down he goes. Right hand and a hook, and Duno's hurt. Duno's hurt bad. Wow, it's over. That's a superstar performance right there, Brian.
And from there on, only the sky was the limit for King Ryan Garcia. In November of 2019, Devin Haney knocked down Santiago for the WBC title defense. In his post-fight interview, he went on to call out Gervonta Davis, the fighter who is signed and mentored under Floyd Mayweather, and Ryan Garcia, his former opponent in the amateur ranks. Both fighters have expressed their desire to fight each other ever since they entered the professional ring, but their promoters think that it is still way too early to put them both in a pay-per-view main event, as Ryan and Devin could still achieve their maximum potential and then have a fight. Devin Haney is considered as one of the best lightweights in the current era, as his defensive skills are on point and his punches nearly never miss. He has shown similarities to pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, and for a good reason. Haney, at the age of only 23, has achieved 27 wins and 0 losses, while a young Floyd at the same age had 25 wins out of 25 fights. Floyd respects and likes Devin Haney, and has even had a training session with him. But Ryan's biggest rival is a guy who punches like Mike Tyson, but in the lightweight division. Mentored by Floyd Mayweather himself, Gervonta Davis. Gervonta is the current WBA lightweight title holder and the biggest enemy of Ryan Garcia.
He's a kid, man. I'm gonna kill him. He can be my sparring partner, though.
The start of their rivalry goes all the way back to 2017, when Ryan Garcia won the NABF Super Feather title. After a while, Garcia would break his silence and post a photo on Instagram, subconsciously challenging Gamboa, Miguel Berchelt, and Gervonta Tank Davis. It didn't take long for Davis to respond with threats. Since then, both of them have been trash-talking on media and in post-fight interviews, challenging one another. Davis has stated that he didn't want to fight Garcia yet, as he would rather let him grow a bit so they could both have a much bigger fight.
That's gonna be the money. But it's not, I don't want him now. I want him way mature.
And so, while a fight between them was not yet confirmed, the hatred between the two remained throughout the years, and only time will tell if we will see them both in the ring. In February of 2020, Ryan Garcia would face Francisco Fonseca in order to retain his WBC silver lightweight title. Garcia came out early. On the same day, Linares, the next possible opponent of Garcia, had a fight against Carlos Morales. Garcia was now training harder than ever as he had established his name in the top ranks of the lightweight division and was heading for the big fights. Due to the world shutting down in 2020, Ryan didn't have the opportunity to face anyone and continued training more for a future showdown. During the end of 2020, the biggest chance of his life was in front of him. He would face the Olympian, Luke Campbell. Campbell was by far the best name Garcia had ever faced. The Englishman won a gold medal at the 2012 Olympic Games in London before turning pro. And while a world title has so far eluded him in the paid ranks, it is not for a lack of effort. Campbell narrowly missed out on achieving his goal when challenging Jorge Linares in September of 2017, eventually losing on points. He also came up short against Vasily Lomachenko, though again went the distance. The losses to Lomachenko and Linares taught lessons Campbell believes have made him a better boxer. And so, the fight was on. During the walk-in, we saw Garcia dressed as a king, something similar to the walk-in of Tyson Fury back in 2020. That hurt people. Garcia promised a knockout, but few expected how he would end up getting it. And so, Ryan Garcia had proved to the world that he was not just a boxer on social media. Garcia went on to the post-fight interview. Ryan Garcia was invited. It was now almost sure that we would see this mega fight happen. But Tank talked about the whole fight situation on the Full Send podcast.
We're supposed to fight.
Why didn't it happen?
He pulled out.
Why did he pull out?
Mental health.
Okay.
That's what he said.
I know a little bit about that.
I feel like he's probably just not ready. They probably just think he's not ready. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is definitely.
Is he on your hit list of fighting?
I mean, I don't even know, cause
that would be a big fight, right?
That would be a crazy fight.
It'd be a big fight, but it's like you never know with him. It's always something going on. Like, not to talk, but want to keep going on and on, but just it's always something going on with him, so you never know.
After his impressive win over Luke Campbell, Ryan would go on to fight Javier Fortuna in July of 2021. Fortuna, a former junior lightweight champion promoted by Samson Boxing, was the WBC's number 2 fighter in the WBC's 135-pound ranking. But in April, Ryan would pull out of the fight to manage his health and well-being. It was a move that the promoters understood and respected. After nearly 10 months after his last fight, he would face Joseph Diaz for the WBC interim lightweight belt. In a statement a little before the fight, Garcia said he suffered an injury to his right hand during a training session. After Ryan pulled out of the fight, his rival would take his place to face Jojo Diaz. Devin had a win over Jojo by unanimous decision and showed the world that even unprepared for the fight, his boxing IQ still came out on top. After 1 year of being absent from the ring, Ryan will return to fight Emmanuel Tago. Though such a fight is not as much anticipated, recently, Ryan Garcia announced that he has parted ways with Eddie Reynoso, which is Canelo and his coach. Many assumed that Ryan didn't have the work ethic that Reynoso and Canelo have, and that is the reason why he left them. But at the time, the true reasons are not revealed. A kid that started boxing with his father from their garage made his way all the way to the top. He never listened about what anyone had to say about him. He was just too busy focusing on the main objective. He delivers entertaining fights along with strong battles. He is Ryan Garcia. Comment down below if you think Ryan will win his next fight in April and who could be his next possible opponent. This is Boxing Matrix. Thank you for watching.